What is it, my ninjas and assassins? Meg1 here, and welcome to a Let's Read by, fuck. What is up, my ninja, fuck. 3, 2, 1. What is up, my ninjas and assassins? Meg1 here, and welcome to another Let's Read, but another story from the same author. You guys might know Headless_Rainbow. Yeah. That person that wrote Derpy's finest hour. 6,000 motherfucking words. So I decided, he said, oh, why don't you read another one of my stories? And you know what? Fuck it. I will. I've decided after a long period of time, I will read it. Why? I would read another story. Why? I don't know. I kind of like, you could say I kind of like torturing myself. But whatever. So let us begin the story of Sunset for Twilight. Sunset Shimmer decides to off Twilight rather than risk defeat. This is a rather simple story I made for an unnamed commissioner. I actually think it turned out well, as keeping it short forced me to be concise. Okay, what this story is gonna have. It is a complete story. It has 1,452 words. Likes are 47 and dislikes are 75. I'm sorry if you hear noises of my computer rumbling and trying to kill itself. It is because I am rendering another video out. Whatever. Okay, so this story contains Twilight Sparkle, Spike, Twilicorn, and Sunset Shimmer. It is a mature sex story, tragedy, dark human. So let us begin. It was late, and Sunset Shimmer crept into the window of the school library. She silently moved up the stairs to the top level. Snips and Snails had told her Twilight had stayed here after school. Sure enough, there she was, snoozing on a makeshift bed made by stacking books, and her stupid little dog beside her. Sunset had left Snips and Snails behind, even if they would have been willing to participate. Sunset wanted to take care of it personally. First step. Okay, interesting. First step, keep the dog from waking her. She approached the bed slowly, her hands already shaking with excitement. She paused at the bed to make sure both were still sleeping soundly and smiled. She put her purse down on the floor and pulled a thick plastic bag from within it. Spike was a deep sleeper, so it wasn't hard to get the bag over his head. She took a deep breath, moving one hand to his muzzle and the other to pull a string at the opening of the bag. She had carefully planned how to get rid of him efficiently. All at once, she pulled the drawstring tight and held his muzzle shut, though the bag with her other hand. The opening shut around his neck tightly, now allowing any more air in. I think you might be saying now, not allowing any more air in. Might want to check that. As he awoke, she placed one knee against his belly and bore all her weight down on it to knock the little breath he had out of him. He struggled mightily for a creature of his size, but it wasn't enough. His eyes went. The panic. He started to pull the bag off unsuccessfully. He did manage a few whines, and Sunset watched Twilight nervously to be sure she had not wake before she was done. Soon Spike was shaking violently and from the lack of oxygen. She pushed her knee harder against his belly and watched his eyes roll back into his head as he withered, deceased. As he was no longer whining, she moved the hand from his muzzle to his chest to feel the rapid thump of his heartbeat. It became as erratic as Spike went into a final convulsion before finally fluttering to a stop. She waited a full minute to make sure She waited a full minute to make sure, then casually rolled Spike's corpse aside. Sunset could barely contain herself. She shook her hand. Her hand shook with anticipation as she'd held clothing onto the floor. She'd her clothing onto the floor next to her purse. As the last piece was tossed into the pile, her throbbing shaft flopped out into the cold air. Oh man, I'm sorry. I am sorry if that clips. But damn man, Sunset, what you been hiding? You ain't no girl. You're a dude. Okay, she couldn't wait for Twilight's surprise that she had that her arch enemy was packing more than advertised. Yeah, man, Hasbro didn't advertise that shit. Okay, she hoped Twilight was as heavy a sleeper as her dead little dog, but after her busy day, she was sleeping like a baby. Twilight was on her side. You know, babies kind of wake up in the middle of the night when they get hungry, so Sunset, you in trouble? And Sunset managed to pull her arm behind her to bind her hands. More straps wrapped about the purple girl's legs, holding them tightly together. Twilight didn't actually wake up until a simple ball gag pulled her jaw open uncomfortably wide. Twilight took a moment to process what was going on, but when she realized she was subdued, she struggled. When she realized Sunset was above her, butt naked, with a throbbing cock between her legs. Her struggles became outright thrashing. She drooled out a few garbled words around the ball gag. Sunset laughed. Oh, I think you'd be surprised. But I'm not like the other things you fought in Equestria. If I have a problem with someone, I end them before they have a chance to end me. Sunset pulled a knife from her bag, which made Twilight's eyes go wide. She only used the knife to slice up the front of Twilight's shirt and bra so that she could pull them back and reveal her breasts. They bounced as Twilight continued to writher. Okay. And soon the knife was tossed aside so that Sunset could fondle both. She wasn't gentle with Twilight's new body, squeezing and twisting her breast, digging her fingernails, and leaving red welts behind. One hand moved away so that she could bite down and leave bruises and teeth marks. Twilight screamed, though, through the gag, to no avail. The free hand now moved to pull Twilight's skirt, and Sunset's throbbing rape stick smacked against Twilight's panties, rubbing slowly up and down. Sunset shivered violently in anticipation, but wasn't yet satisfied. Twilight was screaming, but she wanted her sobbing. The answer to that was obvious. Sunset reached over and held Spike's corpse up for Twilight to see. Though the plastic through the plastic she could see his face frozen in a look of desperation. His eyes rolled back and his tongue hanged out stiffly. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. That took me a while. It took me a while to realize that was Sunset. I had to remember, Twilight is gagged. Twilight is gagged. I thought I would never say those fucking words. Okay. I couldn't have him running for help, could I? Shimmer laughed. Just as you know what I'm capable of and what is going to happen to you, I doubt a corpse will be able to activate the element. Twilight bravely got out a no when she realized that Spike was a corpse. Sure enough, tears welled up in her eyes as her struggle continued, and she was soon weeping outright. The sound was music to Sunset's ears. Now it was time for the main course. She didn't bother pulling down Twilight's panties. She just pressed her shaft hard between the delicious, unwilling cunt lips, straining the fabric until it finally gave in. As it broke, Sunset drove her cock right through Twilight's hem and didn't stop until it was ball deep. Oh God, it's kind of weird because like my family's in the other room and I'm reading this and it is very hard. You know what? Fuck me. Oh, your pussy? It's just sucking my cock. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to actually read this without doing the voice, because it's a lot easier for me just to read it like this. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't want my mom and my sister and just my mom and my sister to find out about this, because it's kind of weird. I told my mom I would never do anything sexual on my channel, so cross my finger and hope to cross my heart and hope to fly. Stick a cupcake in my eye, okay? That she doesn't find out. Cause yeah. Oh, here, pussy. It's just sucked in my cock. This is hot, said Sunset. Oh, and you're already moist, you slut. Jesus fucking Christ. Why do you have to make me read this? I don't know, what the fuck is wrong with me for reading these things? She began ramming her hips and immediately she hammered into Twilight's cunt, savoring the feel of wet flesh gripping and instinctively milking her cock, whether Twilight wanted it to or not. Her hands clawed once more at Twilight's breasts as she lapped the tears from her sobbing face. Twilight was breaking, unable to even try to scream, though she tried to slobber out some words between choking sobs. It nearly covered the wet sound of their bodies smacking together in the suction of her cunt at Sunset's throbbing shaft. It was perfect, exactly as Sunset had imagined it. She leaned forward and kissed Twilight as deeply as she could, with the gag in the way, then spit in her eye and laughed between her own moans. She lost track of time as she continued on, and soon felt her climax rising up. She held She held it in, not yet. Too bad for you, Twilight. Sunset breathed between moans, her words wavering in time with her thrusts. You'll never have the privilege of feeling me come inside you, because you will be a corpse when I do. Both hands were brought to Twilight's neck and squeezed. She dug her nails in and put all her weight that she could into cutting off Twilight's hair. Twilight struggled, renewed, but there was nothing she could do, and the feel of her convulsions were exquisite as their breasts pressed together. Inadvertently, Twilight's struggle lessened as she ran out of oxygen. She looked up at Sunset's eyes, begging her not to go through with it, but that only made it better. Her enemy defeated, at her mercy, and receiving none. Twilight's body twitching as her eyes rolled back into her head. Sunset could feel the pounding of Sunset could feel the pounding of Twilight's heart in her chest, and then she felt the most beautiful thing of all. The heart stopped beating. Well, the heart stopped. Sunset felt the warmth of urine flowing around her, still thrusting cock as Twilight's bladder emptied, and in an instant the act of rape became an act of necrophiliac. Sunset arched her back and groaned out loudly, echoing through the empty library. She came harder than she had into Twilight's corpse, cum oozing down her inner walls, filling her, and then mixing with the other fluid draining from her used-up body. Sunset packed the last of her orgasm into Twilight's carcass, before finally pulling out with a gruesome slurp. Sunset shivered again, sweat beading on her body. She panted as she put her own clothes back on and took her bag. She left the two corpses where they lie, plastic bag, bounds, and all, likely to be found by Cheerly the next morning. It was no matter. By the time the police figured out who did it, Sunset would be safely on the other side of the portal, unleashing the full potential of the element of Equestria. She chuckled to herself and turned to make her exit. Okay. So that was Sunset for Twilight by @_rainbow. So, what do I say about that one? Okay, you know what? It's not that bad. I'll be honest. I thought it was gonna be worse. It was not. I am sorry for anyone that sat through this and listened to me stop, stutter, and continue on with terrible voice acting. What I liked about this one was I didn't have to do many voices. So yeah. I didn't have to do many voices, but I already forgot what the fucking voice I used for her was. But whatever. I'm sorry if I sound like my voice is kind of cracking. I'm trying to keep it low and deep and dark and ominous. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was that. So yeah, that was by that person, and that was that story. So you guys can go read the story. It's gonna be linked in the description, and I probably will be uploading another one and I know what it is. The next Let's Read is called Dear Luna, and you know what? It was probably one of my favorite fan fictions I have ever read. It's probably the best fan fiction I've ever read. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Well, this Let's Reads. And I will see you, my ninjas and assassins, for the next mission of videos. Until then, stay undisgusting. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you, my ninjas and assassins, for the next mission of videos.